Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. You see P. Diddy behind me, you know what it is. Right now, P. Diddy has hired some death penalty attorneys, a death penalty attorney. You know what I mean? P. Diddy put together the dream team. You saw the lawyer that he had out there. You could already tell by looking at him that he wasn't ready to go up against the whole New York City, you know what I mean, assistant United States attorneys. So he needed help. He looked like a fish out of water. So Diddy hired a dream team. Right now is the beginning. That's why we're doing this. This is the beginning of Diddy fighting for his life, the same as O.J. Simpson fought for his life and put together the first dream team that we saw in the urban community. Because before that, they were just burning this. Let's keep it 100. But now, when they got the bag like O.J., they got a dream team with Johnny Cochran, Shapiro, and somebody else. You know what I mean? Now, Diddy just got his dream team, so you're living out the same history that 30 years from now, when the next person comes home that they give 30 years to, will be able to remember when they got locked up, they were just bringing Diddy down, and he was just putting together his dream team. Now I'm going to introduce Diddy's dream team. But before we go there, while the intro is playing, if you already subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you not subscribed, hit the notification bell. Let's keep this party moving. I mean, that's all I got to say, man. All right. All right, so you know what it is, man. Diddy up here, he doing his thing. He went and got the dream team. But before I begin, let me give my man the plug one more time. You know what I mean? This is the Royal Bloodline. The Royal Bloodline. Make sure you cop this on Amazon. It's the Royal Bloodline. You know what I mean? By the homie David the Duke Allen and Marcus Bishop Allen. Cop Royal Bloodline. I'm reading this and I'm loving it. You know? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to get another one real quick, man. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm feeling good. You got Victorious by Sandy, Biddle. All right? This was sent to me out of Washington, D.C. Victorious by Sandy Biddle. You know how, you might bounce to different channels or whatever. Well, I bounce to different books when I'm at night laying down eating my, white cheddar cheese popcorn or something, or my Twizzlers. I'm an old Twizzler fan from the penitentiary. But let's play this joint now to see what's going on with Diddy and his situation and the lawyers that he has. That's what this is about. Diddy's new lawyers dream team. This is the new dream team for what we're recognizing as our history, just so you understand. All right.
Allegations, Sean Diddy Combs is prepping for the trial of his life and assembling his own version of a dream team to take on the federal prosecutors in his sex trafficking case. On Monday, Combs' attorneys filed a third request to appeal his detention order. That order requires the Bad Boy Records founder to remain in jail until trial. But in those new court documents, new names have been added to the Hitmakers Council, and those new names who agree to join his team are legal giants who are up for the challenge. So who are they? Anthony Rico is a well-established death penalty attorney. He reportedly led the defense in up to 45 federal death penalty cases. According to his bio on the Fordham Law University website, some of the notable yet controversial cases included Rico serving on the counsel in the World Trade bombing conspiracy case and embassy bombing case in 1998. Some of his other cases included People versus Corey Arthur. Arthur was charged in the murder of the son of former Time Warner CEO Gerald Levine. Rico was able to get the death penalty off the table and litigate Arthur's sentence to life in prison. He also previously represented the undercover NYPD officer acquitted in the 2006 killing of Sean Bell. According to his bio, he doubles as an adjunct professor of law at Fordham and has been practicing law since 1982. Another new addition to the Diddy defense team is Alexander.
Hold on, before we go to Alexander, yo, did you just hear his credentials? Round of applause to Diddy and his credentials. Round of applause to Diddy and his credentials. Yo, The federal government have the best United States attorneys, the best attorneys in the United States. Is how they pride themselves because they bring in the cases. So you have to put together a dream team. That's what Diddy's doing. Diddy's putting together a dream team. So that lawyer there was very impressive. I don't want to drag this video out, so we're gonna go on to the next lawyer. This is Diddy's number 2 pick for the dream team. All right, we watching the dream team come together. All right.
Sandra Shapiro. According to her firm's website, she's labeled as one of the nation's leading appellate lawyers, and her work is recognized in the reversals of both civil and criminal cases. She graduated from Columbia University School of Law in '91 and began working as a clerk to Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg before going on to work in white-collar defense. Shapiro even landed her own huge wins in the Supreme Court and narrowed the scope of the federal fraud statutes to reverse the wire fraud convictions of Western New York developer Louis Simonelli and former Andrew Cuomo aide Joseph Percoco. She's also representing convicted cryptocurrency fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, who is reportedly in the same unit as Shapiro's newest client, Sean Combs, aka Diddy. And if you're wondering if she's related to the Robert Shapiro from the O.J. Simpson case, the two are not related. Shapiro and Rico now join Mark Agnifilo and Teeny Garagos. Teeny Garagos is the daughter of the attorney to the stars Mark Garagos, who famously represented the likes of Winona Ryder, Michael Jackson, and Chris Brown. But according to Teeny's bio, she's making a name for herself. She was a founding partner of Agnifilo and Trader and has defended clients in federal and state cases at the trial and appellate level. Her experience is in defending and investigating allegations of sexual misconduct, and she's represented a number of people accused of sexual assault and sexual harassment. But on the flip side, she's also represented victims of sexual assault and violence. But her range doesn't just include sex crimes. According to her bio, she's also defended a wide range of criminal matters, including securities fraud, wire fraud, public corruption, tax evasion, deportation, and narcotics cases. And of course, there's Mark Agnifilo, who seemingly has been the face of Diddy's defense team thus far. According to his bio on his firm's website, he's won acquittals in many of the most complex and difficult trials in America. In the past several years, he secured 3 acquittals in cases ranging from assault to international tax fraud to political corruption, and has tried more than 200 cases over his 30-year career. With all 4 combined legal experience, it seems they're all up for taking on a music mogul accused of sex trafficking. As Diddy faces another hearing slated for next week, we can expect his new additions to argue for bail once again. But will it be successful? Well, that's up for a federal judge to decide if third time's the charm.
Yeah, all right. Before we let this young lady speak, right? What do y'all think about the dream team that Diddy's putting together? See, I had one good Jamaican lawyer out of Brooklyn went down there to fight for me in Virginia. You know, I got life plus 20. You know what I mean? So you call it what you want to call it. You know, I think he did a great job. I think he did a great round of applause to my lawyer. Round of applause to my lawyer. He probably rest in peace now. Trevor Headley. My lawyer was Trevor Headley. Was an excellent lawyer. I don't have anything bad to say about him. Was a straight gentleman. During my trial, he was reading that book, Reasonable Doubt. Pause. Let me ride. During my trial, my lawyer was reading the book Reasonable Doubt, right? I forgot who it was by, right? But I seen the book on the thing every time I went in. I couldn't read it right at the time, but I'm looking and, you know what I mean? He told me the name of it was Reasonable Doubt, and I looked at the letters, and I'm familiar with letters, but as far as putting them together with words, I'm one of them that took 20 minutes to say a 5-letter word type thing, you know? But he explained it to me, and our conversation was always what was the book about. I wanted him to tell me what the book was about, because I never really took no time to read no book. So now, you know, he tell me about the book and about a reasonable doubt, and that's what we got to prove in your case is that there's reasonable doubt. Then we can prove there's one reasonable doubt and point that out there's reasonable doubt, then therefore we can get an acquittal. You know what I mean? And he was right. I beat 3 of the 6 charges. I beat all the what they call substantive counts and got found guilty of the conspiracy counts, which is the CCE, continual criminal enterprise. You know, that's the kingpin statute, the conspiracy statute, because you can't have a kingpin statute or RICO statute without a conspiracy statute. That's why I know and I could put my life on it that they will. You hear what I said? I'm going to put my life on it. You know what I mean? My life on it that they're going to come out with what they call a superseding indictment for Diddy, where they're going to separate that RICO and the conspiracy, and they're going to list under that conspiracy count, even if they leave it with the RICO count, who the people are that worked and furthered that RICO, not leave it where they put their titles at the organization. Dog, we got you. What they're trying to do with that indictment is to put it in your head that his organization was responsible for his SA acts. If you believe that his organizations was responsible, then you would turn a blind eye to the fact that they get ready to take everything that this black man owns. So that's why they put that out there first, and for the distraction, because you got the biggest election of your time getting ready coming up. This the biggest right here. In 50 years, they're going to be talking about two things for this generation. That's going to be this election and the Diddy case, when they start dropping people names that didn't want to pay the extortion to the alleged extortion to the government or whoever for the tapes to let them know, yo, picture this, right? Picture this. Let's ride. I'm riding. Picture the government pulling up to, John Doe, big, multi-millionaire actor, and say, look, we got you on tape at the Diddy party. We know everybody went to the Diddy party. The Diddy party was the thing to do. There's nobody that didn't want a Diddy party. Everybody wanted to invite to a Diddy party. You was at a Diddy party. We got you on a Diddy party doing some compromising things after you willingly took some drugs. Well, we're going to say that he forced you to take it, and we're going to say that he forced you to have these acts, and he lured you in, and you just came over to get a cup of coffee, and it turned into the freak off. You know what I mean? And we're going to let you go. Or you testify. You testify along with that, you good, right? Or to avoid even having to testify, to avoid even being caught up in all this, give us $50 million. We could wipe you out of this and act like we never saw this tape until 20, 30 years from now, because you better believe someone else is going to go behind me and find it. But I guarantee you I could hide it as long as I'm working. I could hide this tape for $50 million. Bam. They got the $50 million. That act is off the table. Or entertainer, rapper, R&B, whatever is off the table because they paid their $50 million. Now, one they say, I'm not paying you nothing. All right, well, we're going to put you on an indictment that you we're going to drag you in the crowd and drag you through the mud. Well, I'm willing to go for it. So they go through it, and those are going to be the names that's going to be the indictment. The ones that feel they can fight the government, that don't realize that the government is in charge because the government wrote the rule book and the playbook. You understand the words that are coming out my mouth? But let's get back to this now. All right.
There are a lot of difficult stories that we cover here at Law and Crime, and part of the reason we're able to keep bringing you these types of stories is because of our great sponsors. So I really want to take time to thank Upside for sponsoring us. If you're wondering what's Upside, well, it's a free.
We don't need to hear about all that. So I'm gonna go on over here, bring this to Diddy. I done fell asleep. I had everything marked. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But this joint here is deep because Diddy had to put together a legal team in order to fight these people because he's fighting for his life right now. Diddy is fighting for his life right now. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, y'all sit back and let's go back to enjoying this ride because Law and Crime, big shout out to them. They're doing a wonderful job, and I'm just breaking this down so that our people, the laymen, don't have a color, don't have a creed, don't have a race, don't have a nothing. So the laymen, that's what they call it. You know what I mean? So the layman people understand what they're saying here on Law and Crime. That's doing a wonderful job. All right.
Tyler. Now, Florina, I really appreciate you joining me today. Diddy has hired some pretty heavy hitters to join his defense team. Is it significant to you at all that he added a well-established death penalty attorney into his case, that being Anthony Rico?
Certainly, he's
See, the accident, y'all, is this normal for him to add a death penalty attorney? All right? Not belittling, you just like to translate. Ah,
He's not charged with any crimes that expose him to the death penalty. But anytime anybody is charged with a crime, especially somebody with significant money, they're going to hire established attorneys with experience and they're going to hire a team of attorneys.
And he also added Sam Bankman Fried's attorney, that being Alexandra Shapiro. What do you make of that addition to his team, given she's still representing Sam Bankman Fried and he's reportedly housed in the same unit as Diddy?
That's actually not all that surprising.
all right, pause, right? We're going to tell you about this cat, right? So I'm going to break this down. See, this is what you get at Unique Mecca Audio, man. Round of applause to Unique Mecca Audio. Round of applause to Unique Mecca Audio. So I'm going to break this down for you. Relax, y'all. Relax. I'm going to take you inside the prison. This is what happened. Diddy got on the tape, right? I'm going to talk real fast, but I'm going to slow it down. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to feel how I do it. I'm going to do what I feel. All right? Now, Diddy gets on the floor, right? I speed up. Diddy gets on the floor in the prison. He's locked in the cell. While he's locked in the cell, he's able to yell out the door. He's yelling out the door down the hallway. While he's yelling down the hallway, let me show you what the hallway looked like. Now, while they in these cells here, right? They in these cells behind me. While they in these cells behind me, they're yelling down the tier, right? But I might be able to find you a better picture. Let me see if I get a better prison picture. No, I didn't bring them over here. All right, go prison hallway. Now that's the only one I got. All right. So now they're yelling down the tier. While they're yelling down the tier through these bars, say, "What are you locked up for? Who are you? Oh, I'm there. Oh, I'm seven around." And they say, "Yeah." He said, "Man, I got my lawyer on their butt. He doing his thing, and she doing her thing." And he's telling him about the lawyer through these bars that we're looking at right here. They talking through these bars. I want you to understand. So while they're talking through these bars, he's telling Diddy how good his lawyer is and how well his lawyer is performing. And Diddy's like, yeah, man, here, I'm gonna send you her number. I'm gonna send you her card. He sends the card down. Diddy sees the card. He's comfortable. Diddy knows who he is. He's comfortable with where he's at, sitting in a jail cell. So what that means is, because we riding, his lawyer is one of the greatest seducers of our time. I don't think you understand what I'm saying now. Now, look, so you understand. This young man's lawyer is one of the greatest seducers of all time. I'm breaking down this law and crime joint. Go check them out just to pick them up as well, because I like the content and I like to break the content down for the layman's, my people. You know what I mean? The common folks. You know what I mean? Now, his lawyer is one of the greatest seducers because, right? I'm gonna tell you why. She able to calm down a dude with millions or maybe even millions of dollars. This dude behind me. His lawyer, he got millions, over 100 million. His lawyer is able to calm him down while he's locked in the cell 23 hours a day. And he's calm, he's so happy, he's so at peace that he's sharing the number with his teammate, which is now Sean P. Diddy Combs. So now him, right, on the tier, I gotta get his name, Brandon, I think his name is. The young man that's on the joint, right? He's telling Diddy how long he been locked up, what he locked up for. I'm sure Diddy know who he is. They're talking, Diddy telling him what he in there for, but Diddy got to watch what he say, and dude got to watch what he say, because if dude make a deal, he'll bring up whatever Diddy said and add a 10 to a 2. Or if Diddy make a deal, he'll bring up what he said and add to 10 to a 2 as well. So that's why when you locked in these type of environments right here, right, when you locked in these cells, you do not tell nobody about your case. That's the first thing your lawyer tell you, right or wrong. Y'all put it in the comments. Y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong. You don't tell anyone about your case, period. But they talking through these bars, right? But while they're talking, let's get back here. These two is talking, and he's comfortable where he's at, being locked in a cell for 23 hours a day after jet setting and, yacht sailing around the Mediterranean and the whole globe. And he's comfortable in a cell for 23 hours a day. And he's at peace. Diddy said to him, Please, Almighty One, give me who has you at peace. Who is your attorney that has you at peace, Almighty One? Because I'm about to lose my mind in here, and you're talking me out of it and down. This is what go on when you locked up. I'm giving you some real trap in these cells. You asking the man next to you that's at peace, how are you at peace in this situation? You tell you, man, my lawyer's on it. Not that. Your lawyer, but give me your lawyer's name. I need to be at peace. I need your lawyer to stroke my soul and bring me back to reality so that I can deal with the fact that this is a part of life when you become a mogul and buck the liquor company. You are a sacrificial lamb, Mr. Diddy. Every other black entertainer, minority entertainer that's thinking about stepping out of line and suing the hand that feeds you, this can be your fate. Just like Diddy's going through his thing and got to put together the dream team. Let's get back to his homie, his new teammate, on what he's telling them, why he gave them the lawyers so that they could both have the same lawyer on the same tier when these are two big cases that they're going to get terabytes and terabytes full of discovery from both cases, but they're gonna get the bag to get them out these cages. Now, let's get back over here. See how nice I ride? I want to thank y'all again, man. Hold on. I want to thank y'all again. And I definitely want to thank y'all for my 100,000 subscriber plaque. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I continuously change the program up to do different things. Now I like this law and crime. And while I'm watching this with my family members, friends, and homies, I got to explain to them what they're saying. You know what I mean? What they're saying, where they people could understand it, but I had to break it down so the people amongst me and my circle could understand. So I'm going to do the Diddy joints dealing with this because this is a good tutorial for how, the justice system work and how not being a part of the street is the key choice to make because you don't want to have to go through the justice system to deal with what even these millionaires or billionaires are dealing with when you're just not even 100 there. You know what I mean? Let's stop it. Let's get this thing moving. All right?
Um, Oftentimes, defendants will speak to other defendants. They'll have exposure to other defendants while in custody, and will sometimes, by recommendation of other defendants, hire an attorney that is representing one of them.
Mm.
I've many times seen clients hire the same attorney as somebody else that's in the same cell block with them just because of, references. It's not much different than how people find their estheticians or their physicians or pick the gyms that they go to. It's by word of mouth.
See, it ain't just word of mouth, which it is word of mouth. But I got to talk my trash because that's what we got. Gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. I just felt like firing my gun for the dude that got mad that he don't like the fact that I'm supposed to be out of this, but yet I still stand my ground. And if I have to, I bust my gun. But this is just for entertainment and educational purposes, so we're not busting any guns. We're trying to take the guns out the use hands. That's why I'm working with a big organization, grow up, grow out, credible messages, where I talk to the youth, and that's what I do. But I know how to relate to the youth. Look at my scores. You know what I mean? I can see in my analytics the age bracket of who's watching me, and I see I'm reaching the youth, and I need to give myself a round of applause. I'm definitely reaching the youth, and the elders. I'm definitely, and I ain't just saying that to say the youth and the elders, but no, the elders, they the ones that call me. The youth be a little bit more reluctant to get on the phone. I guess they're used to DMing and texting and all that. But anyway, so, that's where we at. Let's get back to this project and let's see what's going on.
And just looking through their bios, they all have very well established careers, each in their own right, of defending clients accused from different ranges: assault, sex crimes, white collar crimes, death penalty cases, etc. But in your opinion, what will make Diddy's case different in terms of defending?
Biggest issue with his case is the number of alleged victims that are coming forward.
Hmm.
And normally, when you have a case of one complainant against one defendant, instances of prior situations with other complainants are not going to be relevant. They're going to be entirely too prejudicial, and they're not something that's going to come into evidence at trial. Think of the Weinstein case where they did, and then the case in New York was reversed because of those three other women's incidents that came into evidence and the court determined were entirely too prejudicial for purposes of determining whether or not he committed the offense charged with that one. In this case, what I expect is going to happen, at least on the civil end, is there's over 100 different complainants coming together, suing together, almost like a class action lawsuit.
See, what they're really saying, right? So my layman's understand. They're saying that the government have Diddy's companies, Bad Boy, Combs Enterprise, Combs LLC, his apparel line, Diddy's house, the studio. They're going to take all of that. So now the government found a way to get that billion back by saying that he violated these laws. And then now you have the lawyers, because the government are lawyers. Now you have the lawyers that's not on the side of the district attorneys that say, hold up, why is me a lawyer, district attorney's a lawyer, but the district attorney get to get this bag from Diddy, but me, that's not a district attorney, can't get the bag, and I'm still an attorney. So no, let me find a way to get a part of that bag from the district attorney. So the lawyers put out a red flag, asking for people that have encountered or crossed paths or got any minimum of evidence, a picture, a story, or whatever about an encounter with Diddy, aka allegedly the diddler. That way they could then take that and bring it into court and try and get a bag from Diddy. Now, what this new lawyer is doing in Houston is he's connecting with the federal government in New York to let them know when these people reach out to me, which is potential witnesses for this case, I'm going to turn them over to you. And you could get them to testify and lock his black ass up. Just allow me to be able to sue his black ass to get a bag also. You still get your bag, I get my bag, and I help you with the case. Now, you tell me, right? You tell me when you're going to get a breakdown as smooth as that. That's so crystal clear as to what's going on. If that don't deserve a cash app that's on the screen, make sure you hit the logo and say it was created in 2020. I don't know what will. I just let you know the feds in New York, they're gonna get the bag because they're gonna take everything he owned. That everything that you own, that big brother, they're gonna take. Everything he owned, they're gonna take. But the lawyer said, yo, you're a lawyer too, Mr. District Attorney. How you get to eat and I don't eat? So the district attorney said, how can you help me for me to want to help you? He said, well, when they come to me, I got 3,000 people hit me up, say they had encounters with them. I go through vetting them, and I send them over to you, Mr. District Attorney, and you can use them to make your case even bigger, make your thing even stronger, so when you run for the next political office, you straight. This is what he told him. And this is where we at. Let's keep it moving. But first, let's give a gunshot. Ah,
Which, for purposes of a, a sex crime, is really unique. And that's going to allow all of that evidence cumulatively to come together in one case. I would not be surprised. In fact, I fully expect that in the criminal case, the same thing is going to happen because he's charged with sex trafficking. And so they're going to be able to put into evidence before the same one jury this long list of women and men who are the victims of his actions. And that, while it's overwhelmingly prejudicial, is relevant to the charges. And so it's going to come in and it's going to be really difficult to overcome. You know, I've had clients who have had this slew of charges that, for factual reasons under those circumstances, are able to be brought together. And I explain to them, listen, I could beat the first. I could beat the second. Maybe I could even beat the third. But when you have 27 different ones, we're just not going to be that lucky. After a certain point, there's this tipping point, and it's just too many people saying the same thing that the jury is not going to find reasonable doubt. And I think that's going to be his biggest issue, unless he's somehow able to convince a judge to separate those claims and keep the different complainants apart. But given the nature of the charges, I just don't see how that's going to be possible.
And given their kind of range of experience in the criminal defense world, what are your thoughts also on how that'll kind of play into the appeal process? You know, they're already appealing his bail order right now. They're hoping to go for a third time, hoping that Diddy will get bail. But how important is the appeal process all throughout this, even given that we're not even at trial yet?
So every good trial attorney has to have a keen ear for appeals. Everything that we do in preparation for trial, during our oral arguments, and during the trial itself is to preserve the record for purposes of appeal and to preserve any legal issues that come up where there might be a ruling that we believe could be reversed.
Now, I like that, right? I like that. I feel like riding. I feel like riding. Yeah, when I was going through my trial, right, my lawyer, Trevor Headley, once again, round of applause to Trevor Headley. Yardman come out of Brooklyn, come represent Yardman down in Virginia. All right. Trevor Headley come down to Virginia, right? While the trial was going on, he had this yellow pad and he used to write down all these little notes that didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't understand. You know what I mean? I had him reading back to me. So then one day I asked him, why are you doing that? That have nothing to do with that. That already happened. He said, no, that already happened, but that's what we're going to use for the appeal to get you out of jail because it just violated your rights during the trial today. So I'm making a note that this is one of the appeal issues. Now, that was one lawyer, Trevor Headley, doing all that, you know. But Diddy bag is so enormous that he got a lawyer that's going to sit there that just look for appellate issues. As the trial is going on, he's hoping to get acquitted. If he gets found guilty, all he wants is his lawyer to be able to pick out what he could use for an appeal to beat the guilty verdict. That's when you know you got the bag. That was the O.J. Simpson dream team. We're witnessing them putting together right now as we sit here the new dream team for our generation 30 something years later. In 30 years, they're going to look back at this Diddy trial and these lawyers that Diddy's hiring to go into court with him will be famous. You know what I said? They will be famous. The same way as Robert Shapiro and Johnny Cochran. Because they handle the biggest cases. All right, let's get this thing going, man. Been on here long enough. I hope you all comprehend the words that are coming out of my mouth.
The best thing to do, which they're doing, is to have a team of attorneys, because a trial attorney is not always an appeal attorney, and an appeal attorney is most certainly not a trial attorney. And so when you have a team of attorneys with different specialties, you can have appellate counsel watching, um, overseeing, and identifying those issues as they come up. You can also have that appeal attorney counseling the trial attorney to highlight things that that trial attorney may not know to argue and to preserve.
To preserve mean to use in the appeal. So in other words, the appeal attorney is going to tell the trial attorney, yo, highlight on that, object to that, get it in the record, then I can appeal it. When your job is done, you'll pass the ball, meaning the case, over to me. You see how we break that down in Unique Mecca Audio? Do you see how we break that down? Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $5, $10, whatever. Make sure you hit the logo, say it was created in 2020. Let's go back. You got that, right? All right.
Without the two working together, that trial attorney has to also be an appellate expert, which
See, that's where my trial attorney, Trevor Headley, was also a appellate expert. So he was looking for appellate issues to raise after the trial. Because you normally get a lawyer that does all of that. But when you got the bag like that, you get a whole nother attorney that do that. So one can focus on one. Each one know what they focusing on, and they working as a team to get to the goal, score the point, score the basket, whatever you want to call it, which is free Diddy. Before this is all over, you'll be surprised how many people is going to yell free Diddy when they see how ugly this is going to get and how blatant this is to what I'm saying now that you really don't understand. It's not picking sides, but this could happen to you or your favorite entertainer as well if you allow this to go. But it's going to, everything shows its ugly face. That's why when y'all thought I was defending Diddy, I don't give a crap if you go to jail or whatever you do. I don't give a crap nothing about what happened with him. Let's get that straight. I did my 26 years. He ain't give a crap about me. Ain't nobody give a crap about me. It's about me right now. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let me get on my big screen and talk to y'all real quick, man. This might be too long, but I'm going to do it. So y'all understand. I did 26 years in federal prison. I didn't tell on anyone. I had plenty of people I could have told on. I could have told on my own brother that was dead and got out of this situation. I chose not to. That's where my heart lies. That don't make me better than the next man. That don't make me bigger than the next man. That just make me the man that I was raised to be. That I honored the code that was given to me by my comrades, surroundings, and neighborhoods and environments that I was in. That was the rules. You don't tell under no circumstances. So whether I go to jail or not, I can't expect nobody to cry for me, feel sorry for me, or none of that for me. So I definitely don't give a crap if Diddy burn in jail. That's not my business, man. I'm a gangster for real. Right now, all I care about is me and my grandkids and they grandkids. Right now, I don't even have room to care about my kids, man, because my kids is adults after I've been gone 26 years. I'm going to give y'all the real. I went in, the daughter was 18 months, come home, she 27, going on 28. I'm looking at a grown woman when I was holding my baby. You know, my baby driving me home from the airport. This is what I'm preventing or trying to prevent y'all from have to go down. This is not a good thing, man, and not a good look. I'm giving y'all the real. Listen, man. When I went in and I had a daughter that was 6 years old, I come home, she's 30-something years old and got a grandchild. She got a granddaughter at that. The granddaughter looked just like her. While I'm looking at my granddaughter, I'm seeing my daughter. When I'm looking at my daughter, I'm trying to comprehend the woman I'm looking at. Because I got to recognize as a woman before I could deal with her as my daughter. Because I missed her growing up in childhood, and that's what I don't want y'all to miss. You ain't going to get it no deeper than this on law&crime and nowhere else. They don't need to bring me on their show. I use their shows, which is excellent. And I give y'all our understanding, what we go through, our pains, our struggle, our heartaches. I'm trying to learn the woman in front of me so I could understand the daughter that I left behind, that I missed her whole life. You know what that does psychologically? I know you don't. And I'm so sorry that I do. Because it's killing me on the inside. It's killing me on the inside. But I love the woman in front of me just as much as I love my daughter. But this is what I got to deal with, man. You can imagine what Diddy got to deal with when, God forbid, he come back 30 years from now and got to comprehend his daughters that he's raising is going to grow up to do their own thing in life and be a big whatever because they got his bloodline in them. But he's not going to be there for none of that if he's found guilty. And again, I don't give a crap if he's found guilty or innocent. But I'm just saying, I'm saying straight, I don't give a crap if he's found. I did my time. Screw anybody that got to do time. If you dumb enough to violate the laws right now in 2024, your dumb ass need to be in jail. Don't cry to me. Don't call me. I ain't got nothing for you, dog. I ain't got nothing for you, dog. I'm just giving it to you 100, man. That's where I'm at right now in my life. I could settle for my YouTube check and my other check that I get, and I'm good. I don't need the profit from 25 kilos a day like I did back in the 90s. Because that took 26 years away from me. And forget the 26 years, that took my children away from me. I don't want that to happen to y'all. Let's get back to this joint. I can do a whole joint like this. I just might because I'm feeling in the zone. Man. Before I even go any further, man, hold on. All right, I just had to get the beat back for a second, man. You know, I started feeling a little certain kind of way, man. Let's get this thing back popping so I can end this.
Which is not often the case.
And you said something interesting. You said team. Now, some are also saying this is kind of Diddy's version of setting up like an OJ Simpson like dream team.
There you
What are your
go.
thoughts on that kind of comparison?
Elizabeth, I've been thinking that our entire conversation.
Um,
That's absolutely correct, and that's a great point, right? You know, O.J. Simpson had someone who was an expert in DNA. O.J. Simpson had someone who really was able to hone in on racial issues. He had excellent trial attorneys. He had excellent writers, excellent appellate attorneys. You have to have that team come together to collaborate, especially in a case where the volume of evidence is going to be so great that it is just time wise impossible for one attorney to have the hours in the day and the days in the year to review everything. And
See, because when they give these attorneys what they call discovery, the Jinx Brady Giglio Act, these are all cases. When I say Brady, all this is, Brady versus United States. Brady challenged the United States. It was about a gun charge back in the 60s. Dude found a gun. They hid the gun. They had the statement. They hid the statement. And they found out after the trial they had a statement that they hidden. So being they did that, they hid the information from Brady. So Brady won the case. So that became Brady versus United States. Then you got Giglio. Giglio was when they were dealing with a case where they were doing impeachment and they had evidence that Giglio could have used to impeach the key witness. They didn't give Giglio the evidence that could have reduced the key witness. So therefore, they gave Giglio one. That was Giglio versus United States. And you got Jinx for United States. When the Jinx Act is when they was holding back information that was used as far as statements that the defendant signed or adopted. You see, I know the law. I got a case that'll get Diddy bail immediately if I was an attorney. Because I've been locked up that long. I know where those little, what they call those, needle in the haystacks are. I got one case that'll automatically get Diddy bail, even in the feds. But Diddy chose to give his money to the billionaires, so let him do what he's doing. I just sit back and I just laugh and I just enjoy and I break it down for y'all and I get what they call the slow money, the best money, because fast money ain't for nobody but dummies. All right, so stop that trying to get some fast money. So that's where we at. Let's ride.
I have cases sometimes where the case that I am trying right now, 6,600 jail calls.
Mm.
There's not enough minutes in the day or days in the week to be able to sit there and listen to them. You need to have support. You need to have additional humans to go through all of that evidence.
See, she says she got over 6,000 jailhouse calls that the government gave her as evidence. So she got to listen to the 6,000 calls and read the paperwork and read through the other evidence that they have to put together a case to free this man, but use her time to listen to 6,000 jails calls. That's why you need a team. That's why Diddy will hire like 10 people to break it down, take 100 calls apiece. You know what I mean? Whatever they choose to do, whatever. But that's how that's played out. So that's what she's saying, that they so overwhelmed. She's getting ready to speak on that. She got terabytes full of documentation and information. So you can understand what a terabyte is. A terabyte is like equivalent to the World Trade Center being stocked up with papers. That's 1 terabyte. That's how much holds in what they call a terabyte on a computer. As much stuff that'll go in there. If you put papers from the floor all the way to the 100-something score in the Empire State Building, that's a terabyte. And she's saying she get that much paper she got to read through. Nobody's saying she wailing. I just want you to know that, yeah, it's a lot of paper. She's just exaggerating, but she letting me know. But I'm sure it's a terabyte. You know what I mean? Because they got all kinds of little stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. She got to look through every single paper in that Empire State Building to look for things that they could use for what they call exculpatory evidence, which would mean to exculpate the defendant from the actual crime, to say that he was innocent, guilty, or technicality, prevent you from finding conviction, or the lawyer have to show that there was a reasonable doubt that he could not have violated the statute. You see how nice I brought that in? You see how nice I am with this? Because I lived this. I had to fight for my life with this. Law and Crime didn't. Not to shoot him a shot. It's not to shoot him a shot. I'm just letting you know, when you listen to those type of lawyers, they say their way, I was comprehending it my way, and I had to translate it to my homies that I'm asking for advice so they could understand it. And right now, you are my homies. Got that? Man, this joint 40-something minutes already. We riding good. I'm enjoying it today with y'all, man.
In federal cases, I get discovery on disks that are in the terabytes of data. It is just too much for one person to be able to do, regardless of how brilliant they may be.
And as the attorneys are appealing that bail order and going hopefully to get Diddy bail for now a third time, do you think that'll be successful?
Unfortunately, I do not. Federal law, as it comes to bail, is not the same as state court law. Now, in state court, you can argue whether or not the person is a flight risk, argue that they are not a flight risk, and either get them released on their own recognizance or have bail lowered. In federal court, flight risk is a question to be addressed. However, the judge is allowed to, can, and should consider the nature of the charges. And in this case, the nature of the charges is bad. It's really bad. You have to consider the number of alleged victims, the time span of the crime, and the gravity of the incidents that are alleged. And based on that, I am not at all surprised that a federal judge is holding him in custody, and I would not expect him to change his mind and release him.
All right, Florina, I really appreciate your insight into this case. Before I sign you off, anything
Now, that's where we at, right? Let's get this thing
else you'd
going
like
over
to
here, you know?
With his case.
All right. I want to get a picture of Diddy up here on my screen, man. There you go. Now, so that's where we at. So you understand and you know what's going on. I just broke it down. He got his dream team of lawyers put together. So you're witnessing this now as a part of history of Diddy putting together his dream team. So now this is where we go from here. I'll be doing these programs. If there's anything you want to see, send me the link and I entertain it. I give what the people want to see, what the majority want to see. I know somebody say, oh, Unique Leaders did his stuff alone. No, but this is what the people want to see. Just watch the numbers. If you don't want to see it, no disrespect to you. They got other channels, but they like the way Unique Mecca Audio break this down and put it where you could comprehend it from a normal point of view, which is considered as a layman's point of view. If you subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell now. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And you know the like button is a must, and make sure you cop the book that I'm about to blink on the screen of Rowan Harlem at rowanharlem.com at the website.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
What?
Fresh out the
can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be whoring Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the